Hi, been a long time. I'm going to try to do a video here. And please bear with me. I'm going to try to not make it much longer than 15 minutes. And the topic for discussion is going to be consciousness. I'm just going to try to outline it. I've been sitting here thinking about it. I got these notes from some other source. And I would like to just outline, put an outline, like up on the board, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some basics, man. All this is what I was trying to do was too specific. And I think it's worth thinking about. Okay, what could we call it? Are we all one consciousness? Write that one up there. Now I got these sources. Should I read it? Are we all one consciousness? Yeah, I'll read this. It's something I wrote down from somebody's video. Somebody, nobody. Each person is the gravitational nothingness that allows the world to show itself in some holographic way, where the center is somehow everywhere, if you're not lost there. Each person is the gravitational nothingness that allows the world to show itself in some ... holographic way, where the center is somehow everywhere. Each of us, in being headless, is the way the world makes room for itself. There's countless endless perspectives. The problem is there are always others. Okay, then you can say there's really just one consciousness. Is that really the case? There's always other people, never just one consciousness. Okay. This brings up it's kind of the point, right? Are we all just one? Lately I've been thinking about it, and I thought I was getting it, but then I started seeing consciousness as just like this clear nothingness. Or maybe this is a bad analogy, like the battery, the universal battery powering everything. That was the way I was getting it through hearing these explanations. For it to be one. Okay, it wouldn't be personal at all. It's like, and I thought, okay, that's the only way I can understand that. But it almost doesn't mean anything. Like, okay, stop there. And this issue about who are we, and that it's real relevant. I've been seeing it. I'm just going to mention this now, and maybe talk about it later. I see the relevance of this in the transgender issue that I've seen come up, recently. These problems. And I can see the confusion of levels of reality, levels of being. And I think the two basic ones are social reality. Maybe you could call that physical, biological reality. And then ontological. What am I in itself? Everybody's gone now. It's got to get too complicated. Because I'm still going to have that self-reflective consciousness. Sort of. Oh. Yeah. I've read this, man. I know it. If I was listening to that, it goes in. That's why I had in one ear and out the other. That's why I had to write it down. Each person is the gravitational nothingness. Okay, what the hell is that? but not in a. I kind of get this. Well, if you haven't looked into Sartre, I mean, I looked over that like 10, 12 years ago, and I can only go so far with it, but I learned some terms. Being for itself. You have to be familiar with this to follow what I'm saying. And you got to be familiar with the Douglas Harding headless stuff, because that's supposedly the same thing. The intimacy of the for itself. You know, I would sit here and talk and say like, oh man, what's a best way to put it? I don't feel like I'm anything. Or I was sitting there trying to meditate. If you've ever done this, I quit doing it because I thought it was like a literal waste of my time. But you can get this experience, and this happened to me recently too. You're sitting there staring at something, and it's almost like you identify with space, like you're gone for a second. And it's almost a brief panicky feeling, man. Like, I'm not real. But you shouldn't. Now, okay, we could say that's nothingness, right? Consciousness is a nothingness. Each of us, in being headless, is the way the world makes room for it. I can go with that. God, there's countless, endless perspectives on reality. We're calling it reality, the world. But then here, the problem that's being posed as a problem is that there's always others. And that would lead in like the Sartre version. And he's famous for saying hell is other people. And all I could say for that is, yeah, sometimes, not always. It's going to go deeper than I wanted to. The problem is there's always others. There's really just one consciousness. Now we're back to this again. But is that really the case? There's always other people. Never just one consciousness. Click, stop. 8 minutes. Drop my notes. I could sit here and read this stuff. Where have I gotten anywhere? I've just rambled, huh? Yeah, I see where it leads, and it's beyond my ability to sit here and talk about. But I had to fucking make the video. I see the problems and sense them. It's kind of burning for me to get it out. Or to try to. And it's all contradictory and paradoxical, you know? I could think both ways. You hear about the ego not being real. I mean, intellectually, I go with that. There is no I. Consciousness manifests. I'm not sure what that means. That's just the basic truth of it. There just is no you. Okay. Problem with the word I. I means that there is an unchanging, static entity sitting between the eyes, having an experience of consciousness. No, the truth about it is the universe just manifests consciousness. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what consciousness is. Oh, Okay, we'll leave that. No, the truth about it is the universe just, it manifests everywhere. Out of, in quotes, my eyes. That's a mistake. And I could see that. But you see, and when I thought I was, there is no I that owns this consciousness. This is the old, there's just consciousness. Okay, man. It's hard. And because if you can get that, and what's a better example? Like when you're 10, you're not the same as when you're 10 or 5. Sometimes you can think back on it though, and it feels like it. Stop and regroup here. I have to. Let's try it. Let's try it again.